Also, okay. Connor says, I never get what you're saying to Mo. Because he's like, you don't even get what I'm saying. And he's like, yeah, but I never get what you're saying.
Lol.
Oh, and then Mo calls him blindside.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, he goes easy there, blindside, and then they go play football.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But then we're with Claire and her mom is not good at this.
No, and Claire does have one funny line in this entire episode, and it was, if I had a baby, you'd send me to Mars, which I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did.
And then Claire's like talking about how like Jake's dad shouldn't be talking to her the way that he was, and or her mom should like be more in her corner, and her mom's like, but he's my husband, and it's like, yeah, for like 5 seconds. And I don't know, her mom,
like, she's your daughter.
Yeah, her mom should be like a little more in her corner, even though she did like a weird shitty thing. She's also kind of like just going along with her husband, and it's weird and icky, and I don't like it.
Yeah, and then she does her dramatic suitcase reveal.
Yeah. And Beggar in the Morning is playing that song, and I'm like, okay, Viacom. And then Claire went to like the runaway haven. I wrote, oh God, Claire went to the runaway haven. I'm convinced might be a cult who preys on troubled teens who read vampire fiction.
Yeah, I did not go into that much detail in my notes, but I was like, this is a cult, right?
But then
also, if this was a different show, it was definitely going to be like a sex murder situation.
Maybe. Yeah. But then
if this was just the Drew and Bianca
show. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Although it kind of veers into that territory a little bit.
It does.
But then we're with Connor and Casey, and
Casey's explaining why Mo is like singling Connor out, and he's like he totally gets the Mo psychology. He's like if he doesn't like, we'd all the guys would make fun of him, so he has to push it onto you because they need a punching bag.
Yeah. And then we're back at the cult place, and
but also Connor starts to scheme. He's like, I'm gonna set him up with a girl, and Casey's like, how? And he's like, I will
internet.
Figure it out.
Yeah. And then we're at the cult house, and they're like, no phones at the house. It's a leash to your old life. And I'm like, this is a red flag.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's like, ditch it, like, free yourself. And then Claire throws her phone in a fucking fish tank.
Which I was like, is she gonna kill those fish?
Not a great idea.
No. But of course they drive a fucking VW van.
I wrote that green VW bus. Of course that's her car.
Obviously.
Oh yeah, van. And then, so yeah, she's dropping her off at school the next day. And she's like, don't tell your parents. It's okay. Like, it's just a charade. And Claire's like, charade is just French for lying. I can't lie. And I don't know. Summer, like, manipulates her into not telling her parents where she's staying.
Yeah, she's like, I think I should try with my mom. And Summer's like, yeah, you know, if that's what helps. But she's, like, being really emotionally manipulative.
She's like, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I just hate to see you, like, in a terrible situation or, like, something like that.
Can we talk about how they're running a home for troubled teens? But, like, Claire's not a troubled teen.
Not at all.
She, like, barely has a problem.
She's, like, in a fight with her mom.
It's ridiculous. It reminds me of this episode of Unsolved Mysteries that I was telling you about last night, where the girl is, like, a runaway. Like, she's fine in the episode, you guys. It's, like, told from her point of view. But, like, she's a runaway, and the reason that she gets on a bus and runs away from home is because her parents moved her from Texas to Virginia and gave her a curfew, and she missed her friends.
Jesus.
She's like, my life is so hard. And I was like, I hate you. And then she realized, like, on her way to Texas on the bus halfway there, she was like, oh, my life's not that hard. Like, yeah, no shit.
But yeah, so she drops her off and is super manipulative. And then we're with, or Fiona's like on the phone, and Imogen is like doing like a little dance while she's waiting for her to stop talking on the phone.
Which is really cute. And Fiona's mom is like, you should tell Imogen how you feel.
And she's like, nope, gonna set her up. And then she's like, you should go out with Eli, or I don't really remember.
Yeah, but Imogen is also as suspicious as
she's
Eli was.
She's like, why are you excited about this?
Which, valid.
And then Jake comes up to Claire at school and is like laying on the guilt trip and is like, your mom was crying when you left. And Claire's like, fine, I'll go talk to her at lunch or something like that. And then we're with Connor, and we find out he's just going to catfish Mo.
Yep.
And Casey is like, I mean, this plan is less prank and more revenge, but okay.
And also, is it even going to work? And then they see Mo, like, very clearly excited talking to this person. Also, Connor goes, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, smiley winky face, and that made me laugh. But yeah, it's weird to see Casey as a moral compass.
Yeah. But then we are at home with Claire and her mom is apologizing, but she's also like, this has been really fast, like maybe it is a good idea if you like split your time between here and your dad's to just like kind of like take this in baby steps, because she thinks that she's staying with her dad.
Yeah.
And Claire's like, well, fuck, gotta go back to the cult house.
Yep. Well, also, I think Claire really expected her mom to, like, beg her to stay.
Yeah.
And the fact that she didn't. But her mom is, like, just trying to be a good mom. She
Exactly.
doesn't want her to leave.
Yeah.
She's doing what she thinks is the right thing.
Mm-hmm. But Claire's like, you're not, like, on your knees begging for me to come back.
Claire makes me fucking crazy.
Claire's kind of the worst. But then we are at Fiona's house, and she has set up, like, a picnic in her apartment. And has, like, brought Imogen over, and then Eli pops out, and she's like, Eli, what are you doing here? And Eli's like, you didn't tell her about this?
No, Fiona is not great at this.
And then I think, is this when Imogen is like, Eli and I are not your project?
Yeah. And then Fiona calls her stupid. Like, she's not, like, being like, you're stupid, but she's like, you guys are both just too stupid to see that you should be together.
Yeah, it's not
and
great.
It's really not. Fiona's not good at this.
But then we're at the cult house, and then they're like, we have to do the share circle. It's a dinner tradition.
And then this is when I realized that maybe it's not, like, the boyfriend stuff. I think Claire is just having a crisis of faith. And I think that's really, like, the underlying Claire issue.
Yeah, I mean, that's been happening
like,
with Claire for a while.
Yeah, because she
like,
is,
ever
like,
since
boy
her parents
crazy.
got divorced.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, she is, like, boy crazy. But since her parents got divorced or, like, started to get divorced, she's been having, like, this crisis of faith that's been a real, like, downward spiral. And I think that's why she's gotten so annoying.
Totally. But before this, Summer's boyfriend is like, Summer likes to put people on the spot. It's kind of her thing. And then Claire starts talking, and I'm like, Claire, they're just going to use this to manipulate you even further. Like, this is how they keep you in the cult. And then they're like, you're not alone.
Happens.
And then they're like, all right, we got to go to work. We got to get to work. And she's like, oh, work? Like, can I help? And then it's like, boom, open the door. We grow weed.
Which I was not expecting.
I was not expecting that.
But I did laugh.
And then the boyfriend's like, we're herbalists. Or she's like, you're drug dealers? And they're like, we're herbalists. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is way more low stakes than I thought it was going to be.
Right?
But I guess it is like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, so it wasn't legal.
It's definitely not legal.
Yeah.
It, like, just became recreationally illegal, but it's also, like, probably still not great to just, like, grow this in your garage. Probably. And then, yeah, but this is not where I was, where I saw this going.
But they were like, it's really not a big deal, which, like, honestly, I kind of agree with.
I know, I was like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's just weed. I mean, it's still illegal, but it
still
could
very
be worse.
Not Claire, but yeah, no,
yeah,
it could definitely be worse. I mean, if this was Drew and Bianca, this would be coke. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, or like meth. It would be like an episode of Breaking Bad or something.
God, for sure, it would definitely be meth. You were spot on. Like, they are way too like lowbrow for coke. It would definitely just be like open the door to a meth lab if this was Drew and Bianca's 100%. Show.
But then we are in class, and Fiona and Imogen are like presenting their project, and or whoever the teacher is like, this project has the most solid foundation. It's like, oh, ironic, because Imogen and Fiona are fighting.
But
and then Fiona apologizes.
Like, we're gonna get an A+, and Imogen thinks that Fiona is like pushing her away. And Fiona's like, no, that's, like, not what I'm doing. Because she thinks that she's setting her up to, like, get rid of her, basically.
Oh, yeah.
But she's like, that's not what I'm doing. And Imogen's like, no, I love that our friendship is so intense.
She's like, I love intense friendships. And I'm like, shocker.
Right? She's just, that's exactly Imogen. But it's kind of sweet. And I'm like, oh, you kids.
But then I think we're at school. And Jake is like, so I called your dad, and he says he hasn't seen you in a couple days, like, since he met with you. And Claire also he's like, I've been trying to call you, but you haven't been answering. And she's like, my phone's off, and like starts like spouting like cult gospel at Jake about like being free from her phone or whatever.
Oh, yeah. She's like totally drinking the Kool-Aid. Also, if you are suspicious that someone is in a cult and
call
they
your
start
dad.
first of all, you're in a cult, call your dad. But also like one of the like telltale signs of someone being in a cult is starting to like repeat like weird jargon that maybe you don't understand. So yeah, someone getting real jargony.
And
it's a big indication of a cult.
Yeah, he's like, I called you, I couldn't get a hold of you, like, and I talked to your dad, and she's like, what? And he's like, don't worry, like, I didn't tell anybody. I'm like, Jake, fucking tell people.
But he's like saying that he's gonna tell because he's worried about her, and he's making very good points.
Yeah,
but Claire's like, if you ever loved me, you won't tell.
But she also gives him the address, which is like the smartest thing she's done in this whole episode.
That is a true fact.
But then she's like, if you ever love me, don't tell him. I'm like, okay, emotional blackmail.
Seriously.
And then we're with Mo, and he's like, sorry, I can't go to the game today. I have plans. Some things are more important. And it's like, okay.
Like, no, they are not.
And he's bailing because he's going on a fake date with a fake person.
Yeah. Like, also, I'm not even, like, a sports person. But if you have a commitment, like, especially, like, a first game of the season, any game. But, like, if you have a commitment, you can't just blow it off for a date.
Yeah. Just be like, oh, no, I can't tomorrow. How about the next day? It's not that hard.
Seriously.
And
then Connor was going to come clean, but Mo was, like, such a dick to him. They was like, all right, never mind.
Yeah. Bye. But then we're with Eli and Imogen and Fiona. And then Eli, like, twirls Imogen around and is like, guess what? We're actually going to go on a date.
And the spinning is really cute.
Fiona's bad at pretending to be happy for them.
Yeah, she is sad. And they're like, I thought you wanted this. And she's like, I do. Let's hug it out.
Yeah. So you don't see my face.
Mm-hmm.
But then Claire gets to the cult house, and Summer and company are fleeing the scene.
Yep. Summer is on the phone, and she's like, oh, I guess the phone rule doesn't apply to you. And she's like, we're moving. We'll tell you where we end up. She's like freaking out and packing up all the weed and stuff. And I was like, oh, no, they're definitely in trouble.
And then I think we, like, cut to the football team really quick. And Owen's like, every team needs a punching bag. And that because he, like, says something mean about Mo. And Connor's like, what? I thought he was your friend. But I don't really care about that scene.
And he, like, tells him that Mo is on a date. And then Mo comes back.
That's later.
Is that later?
Because then we go back, and because then we go back because I'm like, oh my god, this is so dramatic. Oh my god, the police are here because the police get to the cult house, and Claire's like getting like a zip tie around her hands, and it's very dramatic.
The boyfriend is fighting Jake because he's like, you called the cops.
Yeah,
but Jake didn't call the cops.
Jake is just like, what's happening?
They've just been like watching the house for a while.
Jake like came to the house to try to get Claire out, and then he like got zip tied and is like, I didn't ask for any of this.
There's a raid happening. No, Mo like tries to show up before this because he just like, it's just like really brief. He's like, I'm back, and he's like, do I have to sit on the bench? And they're like a man down.
Oh yeah, because someone got hurt, and they're like, God damn it, why isn't Mo here? And then Mo shows up, and it's like, get in there.
But we're still mad. And then Mo and
Connor comes
together.
Clean. Yeah.
And Connor's like, we should be friends because we're both huge losers and we should at least stick together. And Mo is not having it, but he should take Connor up on that.
And then we're back, and then Claire and Jake are off the hook because they didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, because they're like, we've been casing this house for months. You know, they take in like teen runaways and get them to like help them with their drug operation. I'm like, this is a terrible scam.
This is crazy.
This is a dumb thing.
Why would, it's dumb. But then, and then they're like, all right, you're free to go. And I'm like, you're not going to call their parents their children. What's happening?
Seriously.
And then I'm like, do their parents even ever find out about this?
I don't think so.
This is insane. But then we're back, and Connor's trying to work with Mo to like improve their images, and then they like go out on the field, and then they have like a fake lovers quarrel to distract the other team,
which is actually pretty funny. Also, why does he keep calling him Conehead?
I have no idea.
I don't understand.
And then their weird fake lovers quarrel works, and Mo somehow like scores a touchdown, but he's also like he's like, while he's running, he's like, like not prepared to score a touchdown.
Which is hilarious. It's good. It's a like nice little scene.